remember. They beat us by 32 just 2 short weeks ago. And who showed up for the Bills' first win? Sure, Joe Cribbs back in a Bills uniform. He received a mixed reception, but soon they were all cheers. First drive, Cribbs with a splendid block. Greg Bell says thank you and goes 7 yards for the score. Quickly 7-0 Buffalo. Late in the first half, Bills lead 7-6. Ferragamo 26 yards to Greg Bell, all the way down to the Colts 1. 2 plays later, who are you going to give it to? Who else? Number 28, Mr. Greg Bell. It's 14-6 Buffalo at the half. Then the key series. Colts cut the lead to 14-9 right there, back to punt when the Bills special teams break through. Dean Prater blocking Ron Stark's punt. Bills at the 3-yard line, the offense taking advantage. Couple of plays later, Ferragamo play action to Pete Metzelaars. 21-9 the final. It's been a long time coming. 28,000 going crazy. Afterwards, Hank Bulla thanked the fans for hanging tough.
28,000 fans we had. Now, when you talk to people, you'll meet 75,000 that were at that game. But I know in my heart we had 28,000 fans that did not give up on us, which I asked them not to do. They came out and cheered and carried us, and they were a big factor.
It was Hank's home opener, but I tell you, the emphasis he put on us is that we do it for ourselves. Don't worry about the media and any other things of that nature. He just wanted us to play and give 100% for ourselves.
All right, thank you, guys. Way to go. Next week, does it get any easier? No way. We go to Philadelphia.
Pre-game introductions, 28,000 there. He goes to Joe Cribbs for a 7-yard gain. But again, it was Cribbs blocking that made the difference. Watch the block here that springs Bell for 17 yards. Oof. Crunch. That is a crunching block. And Greg Bell says, if
it was Mike Pruitt or Booker Moore, and the same happiness is with Joe Cribbs. Joe's a great back. He does some things that takes a lot of pressure off of me. And you can feel that our presence are known on the defensive side because they don't know who to get.
Well, Cribbs does it again as Bell goes in from 7 yards out. Norwood converts. 7-0 Bills go 61 yards.
They done that, they said, for just precautionary measures. I knew I only had a stinger. It sent stingers all down my arm, and I really just jammed my neck. But that's just something they do when you have neck injuries. But I knew I was okay.
So Burrows is okay. That was a scary moment. Late in the first quarter, Allegre hits a field goal. Colts pull within 7-3.
We're in a weak side coverage, and I think the quarterback read it as a strong side coverage. And the hardest thing about the play was that making a catch. I think he threw it right to me. I don't think it was too much discrepancy about whether he was trying to throw to someone else or didn't see me.
Well, Martin Bayless with an interception there. On the very next play, however, Cribbs fumbles it right back. Now, after the Colts had pulled within 7-6, key third-down conversion as Ferragamo hits Jerry Butler. This keeps the drive alive. It was a 3rd and 5 situation. Oof. Then Ferragamo would find Greg Bell down the middle. This one covers 26 yards. Bell is down at the 1-yard line, and that set up Bell's second touchdown, and the Bills would take a 14-6 lead to the locker room. Now, you might recall the Bills led last week at New England, and it was a disaster in the second half. You know, they were smart this week, Mike. They didn't knock Mike Pagel out of the game. Like last week, they knocked Easton out. Grogan came in and did a heck of a job, but this week they didn't do that. In fact, it would have been Kofler coming in.
That would have been interesting. Did you see Kofler coming back and beating the Bills? Don't even want to think about it. No. Well, the last couple of times these two teams have met, the Colts have blown the Bills away in the second half, and you got to believe that was on Hank Bulla's mind as they came out for the second half kick. And things didn't start very well. Vince Ferragamo will go back to pass. This is a tough pass to throw. There's a lot of people around this ball. The ball is intercepted by by Anthony Young. Ferragamo knew the offense was so-so today.
I think that we did sputter offensively. There's certain areas we certainly have to make improvement on. You know, when you have 3rd and 3 or 4 yards and you can't get the first down, then that's something to be concerned about. But, you know, I think if we'll make strides in that area. We will get better.
Well, the Colts took advantage. Raul Allegre's 3rd field goal of the afternoon, cutting the lead to 14-9. Things starting to get scary, and some poor tackling here by the Bills. Pagel to Pat Beach over the middle, and the Bills will miss a couple of tackles. This was a big play in the game. It came down to 4th and 1. The Colts decided not to go for it. Raul Allegre came on and hit this field goal from way away. But the Colts were called for holding. Big, big, big play. Some great special teams play. Dean Prater blocks a Ron Stark punt. Sean McNanny will catch it, brings it down to the Colts 3. That was the first time that Stark has ever had a punt blocked either in college or in the pros.
Every week, Coach tells us we can either go for the block or run our man upfield. This time I thought maybe I could get the corner. If I could get low enough, I could cut the corner on him. And I wasn't real sure how the outcome would come out, but I stuck my hand up and felt a double thud on it and felt good.
I kind of knew it was inevitable. You know, you can only go so long in this league. The guys are so fast, and you know, sooner or later, you know, it'll catch up with you. I was lucky to go 8 years, you know, without having a block. I didn't have him block in college, and so.
All right, now the Bills offense taking advantage. One play later, nice play action. Ferragamo to Pete Metzelaars for the final score of the game. 21-9 the final. Pandemonium broke loose.
I got a little tied up with the defenders, and instead of running the full corner, I just took it up, and I got lucky that Vince found me in the middle of everybody and threw me the ball.
And you said, I better hang on to this one.
That's right. It's been a long time coming.
I just wish Mr. Wilson was here. He was sick this morning, so he couldn't make it. He called and talked to me this morning. And those 3 plays that we had trouble with fumbles, those were his plays.
This week we came out and we held them, like I said, 40 points less, and the guys played with a lot of emotion, and we're enjoying playing. This is the most fun I've had since, geez, in 4 years. I just wanted to win desperately, and, geez, it was a great feeling out there. The guys played together for the first time in a long time.
Everybody's been putting the hype on trying to get one for Hank. I think everybody went out here and got one for Hank, but really got one for themselves.
Joe really didn't hurt us. Bell hurt us. You know, running outside, running all over. Good effort, good second effort. Joe, they just didn't seem to use Joe too much, and they tried, but things didn't really work out too well.
You know, the Bills' defense now, I almost hesitate to say this, they have given up 1 touchdown in the last 2 games.
Yeah, 10 legitimate points in the last 2 games, because the offense today gave away a fumble and an interception, which led to 6 of the Colts' points. So the defense, and some of the players mentioned this as you were in the locker room. I think Martin Bayless brought out the point that the defense under Hank Bulla is finally starting to take shape.
Well, it takes time, and they're starting to get the system. And another thing you like to see is guys like Fred Smerlis, Jim Haslett, getting excited again.
Sometimes overly excited.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we'll take that.